Prepare for landing. All right, Commander. Totally inspired by Star Wars this was, or? Hello and good morning, my name is Hendrik and today we're taking a quick look at the new Jetboil Stash. As outside it is minus 22 degrees, we're first doing the unboxing part over here in my office, and after that we're taking the stash out into the cold and snow. Let's go! The Jetboil Stash comes in this really nice minimalistic packaging. It also looks like this is some recycled cardboard that is both protecting the stove very well during transport and at the same time also is looking good in the stores. So this is how you will find the stove when you buy it in the shop. It's available at least in Finland already. So if you want one, you can just head to your local outdoor shop and grab one from the shelves. Also a quick disclaimer right off the bat, I was sent the Jetboil Stash for free from Jetboil, but there is no further agenda and I can say about it and do with it what I want. Well, with that out of the way, let's unpack this little stove and take a look at it. As you can see, this is a very minimalistic packaging. That's very nice. I really like this. This is made out of cardboard and it can be recycled, so super positive to ditch all the plastic in the packaging. Big thumbs up for that to Jetboil for this packaging. Well, and here we have the stash. It's a tiny little stove. You can see it in comparison with a 230 and 100 gram canister next to it. So it's pretty compact. You won't fit the 230 gram in there, but you can fit a 100 gram canister in there. Also here on the outside you already can see the markings which are facing to the inside, so you can read when you're pouring water or another liquid in there how much there is. And over here we also have some instructions on how to pack the stash back together. Then you just pinch this silicone holder. We take this off too, and then we can take the lid off. Ooh, that's a tight fitting lid. And over here we have a nice little gas canister box. So there's no gas in there, but you can store some trinkets in there. So you can, yeah. It's a nice little way. I don't know if it's really needed with something like this. Of course it's extra material and something that you probably also pay for, but it's a nice idea, especially since it demonstrates how to fit the canister here into the lid. And then we have the stash stove over here, a little booklet with all the information, and then we have a little piece of cardboard that protects the bottom and a little user guide. We also have this holder for your gas canister. It's nice that Jetboil always includes these in case you're on some uneven ground, but in my experience I have actually never used these. I find them too much hassle to put the gas canister in and then take the gas canister again out, plus it also weighs something. Speaking of weight, let's take a scale over here and see what the complete system weighs. First off, we have the pot with lid that is 146 grams, and if we take the lid off, the pot is 129 grams. Then we got the canister legs, which you probably will leave at home because they're 27 grams heavy. And here we have the Stash stove, which is 58 grams light. That's quite decent. There are actually lighter stoves in this kind of constructions available. Now it jumped up 1 gram to 59. So especially keeping in mind that this one does not have an igniter, so we will have to see how it performs. And you of course then also will need to carry a little mini bake or some matches to put it on. Then let's have a quick look at the complete system together. That's 130 for the thing. And here we put the lid on, then we are at 206 grams. And if you want to carry these two, then we're at 232 grams. Well, overall I think the Stash is looking really nice. I like the very compact size, and I like the possibility to add your gas canister into the lid, and that way not having to use some other kind of arrangement in here. Usually I think it was carried like this, which apparently also seems possible, so you don't need to use the lid. And of course you also can still stick the stove in like this, so you really don't need to have this in there. It of course does protect the inside of the pot a little bit from scratches and stuff like that, if that is something that you want to pay attention to. The interesting question obviously is, how does the Stash compare to other gas stove systems out there, or gas stoves on their own? I brought the Minimo over here. This is a really popular Jetboil stove. I have used this quite a bit, and it has a lot of the similar features. It also has these legs over here, but it has this kind of burner head, which has sort of an integrated wind screen, and it also has an ignition, which is always really practical because then you don't need to remember your lighter. And this has rescued me a few times, because sometimes you just grab your stove for a day hike and you don't think about lighter or matches if you're not a smoker as I am, and then you're standing there and how do you light your gas stove without it? So having an integrated igniter is something that I really like. I do understand that they haven't included it over here. Another stove I have over here is the MSR wind burner, or wind boiler, how it was called first. This is again also a stove system, very similar to the Minimo, very fuel efficient and very wind resistant, as the pot and the stove make a closed system over here, so no wind can go in here. That makes it very good in alpine environments. So really I've been using this stove a lot and I really like it. This also does not have an ignition, unlike this one over here, so you also always need to remember your lighter and matches when you carry this one. And finally I have over here the Soto Wind Master. This is I think 87 grams light or heavy. It's quite a lot bigger than the Stash from Jetboil. This one does have an integrated igniter. Again, I like that. And what is really interesting about the Windmaster is this little border or wall around the burner head that makes it very good in the wind. That is something I didn't believe before I didn't tried it, and then I tried it and I saw, wow, this is working really well. And I guess that Jetboil didn't do this has probably something to do with patent rights. One fun little fact is that while Jetboil advertises the stash with the 100-gram canister of gas, and that you can snap it into the lid and then transport all of this together, you actually can fit a 230-gram canister in there and still close the lid. Then of course you will need to transport the stove on its own, but as it comes with this little bag, that might be, at least for longer trips, probably the better and smarter alternative. You can fit your gas canister in there, then it takes less space and you just have it like this instead of having the gas canister on the side and then maybe having other utensils in here. This takes more space, and this is quite a compact arrangement. What is really smartly designed on the Stash stove and the arms over here is that there is this little holes over here where you can very easily place the pot on, and that way it is really secure and will not tip that easily. So even bigger pots of course do work on top of this, but the included pot slots very nicely into these little holes in the stove arms, and that makes it more secure. That's always something that I think is a good design feature to make things less prone to tipping over. But now it really is time to take the stove out and see how it performs in the cold. Alright, we are outside. It is a balmy minus 14 degrees and we have literally no wind at all, so we won't see how the Stash performs in the wind, but at least we get a feeling how it performs in quite cold temperatures. Alright, let's assemble the Stash, fill it up with half a liter of water, and then we can see how it performs in cold weather. The flux ring doesn't like snow or ice, so we'll see how this goes now. I'm adding half a liter of water. That's half a liter. Then remember your fire source when you take the Stash, because it won't work without one. So this is the Stash on full power. I'm gonna try to push start the moment I put it down. This smoke or steam that you're seeing, it's actually from the frozen snow that stick to the bottom as I put it down. So we have no boiling water just yet. Now Jetboil says it needs 2 minutes and 30 seconds for a rolling boil. I expect that is meant to be in summery conditions and not at minus 14 degrees. And that's a boil. So a smidge over 3 minutes for half a liter of water. What should I do with this hot water? I know. And that concludes my first look at the Jetboil Stash. I really like the very compact pack size of this stove system. I'm also curious to see how it performs on a longer trip and in the wind, because there is this gap between the bottom of the pot and the stove head. If that is an issue or not, I would like to figure it out. I think it's very impressive that at minus 14 degrees centigrade the stove is able to boil half a liter of water in 3 minutes. That is really positive, especially if you are out in the cold weather. It will be faster, obviously, if you're in warmer climates and in the summer. As always, thanks for watching. If you got questions, ask them in the comments underneath. If you want to see more stove and outdoor videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, I really do appreciate a thumbs up. As always, life is better outside, so enjoy the winter and see you in the next video.